Welcome to the community, and I am so glad you've decided to take this time for yourself today. If you are new here, please take a moment to subscribe to Psychology Wave and turn on those notifications. We are building a space dedicated to research-backed insights and personal growth, and I would love for you to be part of our journey toward a more conscious life. Today, we are diving deep into the architecture of persistence and the psychological mechanics of the small win. We often look at the massive burdens of our lives, our career goals, our struggling relationships, our internal healing, and we feel paralyzed by the sheer scale of the task. But there is a profound power in the ant-like approach to life's heavy loads. Before we go any further, I want us to set an intention together to prime your brain for the information you are about to receive. Please go down to the comments right now and type a psychology-based affirmation like, "I choose clarity," or "I am aware." By doing this, you are performing a micro-action that signals to your subconscious that you are ready to engage and learn. Research in cognitive priming suggests that when we externalize our intentions, we are significantly more likely to retain and apply new information. So, let's begin this session with that simple step of commitment. Think about the last time you faced a problem that felt truly insurmountable. Perhaps it was a relationship that seemed to be fracturing beyond repair, or a professional project that demanded skills you weren't sure you possessed. In those moments, the human brain often triggers a freeze response. We see the big load, and our amygdala, the almond-shaped part of the brain responsible for emotional processing, sounds an alarm. We feel small and the load feels infinite. However, the story of the ant and the big load provides us with a biological and psychological roadmap for navigating these high-pressure seasons. An ant does not look at a fallen fruit and despair over its weight. It simply finds a grip and moves 1 millimeter. If you find this perspective helpful so far, please subscribe to our channel to ensure you never miss a session on self-mastery. The concept of small steps is not just a motivational cliché, it is a neurological necessity. Dr. Carl Weick, a prominent organizational psychologist, famously wrote about small wins. He argued that when we break down massive problems into small, manageable chunks, we reduce our anxiety levels. When a task is too big, it is polycontextual, meaning it has too many variables for our working memory to handle. By focusing on a single small step, we bring the task back into the prefrontal cortex, the logical, planning part of the brain. This transition from fear to logic is the first step in moving any great load. Building a life of success requires consistent input, much like the content we provide here. Please subscribe to Psychology Wave to keep your growth on track. In the realm of relationships, the never stop trying mantra is often the difference between a partnership that thrives and one that withers. Dr. John Gottman, a world-renowned expert from the Gottman Institute, found through decades of research that successful couples aren't those who never fight, but those who engage in small repairs. He noted that the ratio of positive to negative interactions in stable relationships is 5-to-1. This means that for every small heavy load of conflict, there must be 5 small steps of kindness, listening, or validation. You don't save a marriage with one grand gesture. You save it by consistently carrying the small loads of daily connection. If you are finding value in these relationship insights, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the human heart. The University of California, Davis, conducted studies on gratitude and persistence that showed individuals who focused on small, daily progress reported higher levels of determination and energy. This is because every time you complete a small task, your brain releases a hit of dopamine. Dopamine is often misunderstood as the pleasure chemical, but it is actually the motivation chemical. It tells your brain, "That worked, do it again." By being like the ant, focusing only on the next step, you create a dopamine loop that fuels you for the long haul. You aren't just working. You are chemically engineering your own success. Don't forget to like this video if you're starting to see how your brain can work for you rather than against you. Also, subscribe to stay connected with our community. We often compare our day 1 to someone else's year 10. This social comparison is a psychological trap that makes our own loads feel heavier than they actually are. In social psychology, this is known as upward social comparison, and it often leads to a decrease in self-esteem and a loss of motivation. When the ant is carrying its load, it isn't looking at the grasshopper. It is focused on its own path. Your progress is valid even if it is invisible to others. Success is a quiet, repetitive process that happens in the dark, long before the spotlight ever finds you. If you believe in the power of quiet persistence, please subscribe to Psychology Wave today. According to research published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships, the most resilient individuals are those who possess self-efficacy, the belief in one's ability to execute behaviors necessary to produce specific performance attainments. You build self-efficacy by proving to yourself over and over again that you can handle the small things. Each time you pick up a small load and move it, you are casting a vote for the person you want to become. You are telling your psyche that you are capable, reliable, and strong. If you want to continue building your self-efficacy with us, please subscribe to the channel and join our growing family. Let's look at a relatable scenario. Imagine you have a goal to write a book or start a business, but you haven't touched it in weeks because the thought of the whole project makes you want to nap. That is the big load causing a shutdown. Now, what if you committed to writing just one sentence, or making one phone call? That is the ant strategy. Once that one sentence is on the page, the Zeigarnik effect kicks in. This is a psychological phenomenon where our brains remember uncompleted tasks better than completed ones, creating a gentle mental tension that nudges us to finish what we started. If you find these psychological phenomena as fascinating as I do, please subscribe for more research-backed content. Oxford University researchers have explored how grit, defined as passion and perseverance for long-term goals, is a better predictor of success than IQ. Grit is the ability to maintain interest and effort toward very long-term goals despite adversity. It is the refusal to stop trying. When you see someone who has achieved great success, you are seeing the result of thousands of hours of small steps. You are seeing the ant after it has reached the colony with the load. You didn't see the struggles, the slips, or the moments it almost gave up. You only see the result. Your journey is unique, and we are here to support it. Please subscribe to Psychology Wave to keep your inspiration high. In relationships, we often wait for the perfect moment to resolve an issue. We wait for a vacation or a long weekend to talk. But the most successful relationships are managed in the micro moments. Research from the Kinsey Institute suggests that emotional intimacy is built through frequent, small disclosures rather than occasional deep dives. It is the "how was your day?" and the genuine interest in the answer that carries the load of a long-term bond. If you stop trying in the small moments, the big moments won't be enough to hold the weight of the relationship. Please hit the like button if you agree that the small things are actually the big things in life. And remember to subscribe to our channel. Helen Fisher, a leading biological anthropologist, has studied the brain in love and found that long-term attachment is fueled by the hormone oxytocin. This hormone is released through touch, shared eye contact, and small acts of physical affection. These are the small steps of biology. You cannot force a deep attachment. You have to grow it through the persistent, ant-like application of care and presence. Never stop trying to connect, even when it feels like you are moving an inch at a time. Those inches eventually span miles of shared history. For more insights into the biology of love and success, please subscribe to Psychology Wave. I want to tell you the story of the ant and the big load to bring all of this together. One afternoon, a young ant discovered a discarded piece of sugar that was 10 times its size. The ant tried to lift it, but it wouldn't budge. A passing beetle laughed and said, "That is too big for you. Leave it for someone stronger." The ant didn't reply. It began to bite off a tiny corner of the sugar and carried it home. Then it came back. It did this again and again. While the beetle spent the afternoon talking about how impossible the task was, the ant spent the afternoon moving the load, grain by grain. By sunset, the sugar was gone, and the ant's colony was fed for a week. The first lesson this story teaches us is that consistency trumps intensity. We often think we need to make massive, sweeping changes to be successful, but it is the small, repetitive actions that actually move the needle. The ant didn't need a burst of super strength. It needed a refusal to stop. In your life, don't worry about being intense for one day. Worry about being consistent for 100 days. The second lesson is ignore the critics of your pace. The beetle represented the voices, both external and internal, that tell us our progress is too slow to matter. But the speed of your progress is less important than the direction of your movement. If you are moving toward your goal, no matter how slowly, you are winning. The third lesson is focus on the grain, not the mountain. If the ant had obsessed over the total size of the sugar cube, it might have felt defeated. By focusing only on the single grain it was currently carrying, the task became manageable. When you are overwhelmed, shrink your world until it is only as big as the next 5 minutes. The fourth and final lesson is small contributions create large legacies. The ant's individual grains fed the entire colony. Your small steps in self-improvement, relationship repair, and professional growth don't just benefit you. They ripple out to everyone around you. Your success is a collective win. Thank you for staying with me through this exploration of the mind and the spirit. You are far more capable than you realize, and no load is too heavy if you are willing to take the first small step. Please subscribe to Psychology Wave for more insights that help you navigate the complexities of your world with research-backed wisdom. Before you go, please head to the comments one last time and type a closing affirmation like aware and empowered or clarity and confidence. Let's lock in this feeling of possibility. Don't forget to like and share this video with someone who might be feeling overwhelmed by their own big load today. I'll see you in the next video. Keep moving grain by grain.